recording. Okay, hello and welcome everybody. This is Kathryn Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and I am so thrilled and honored to be introducing to you Asara Lovejoy, who is an incredible consciousness teacher and educator. She's the author of many articles, and most notably the book The One Command, where she describes the one command technique. She's been a radio host, a sought after speaker, a world traveler. I mean, Asara's got one of those lives. I hope she writes it down, because when you think about somebody who's had a really interesting life, it's going to be Asara. She's literally had lifetime after lifetime and so many amazing experiences. And we are blessed to get to have an experience with her today, where we're just going to have a chat with Asara. And we're talking today mainly because today, at the time of the recording, it is the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year. And this is a kind of a very important day. There's a lot of positive influences, but also this is the third of three specific energy gates. It's the 22 gate, which is a very abundant prosperity gate. And we're going to be talking to Asara about how could we really access these big energies and all these amazing opportunities that are before us at a time when there's more challenges than ever before. And how the one command technique can help this. But I'm going to tell you, all of this is unscripted. We're going to follow spirit. I told Asara, anything that you want to talk to us about, we want to hear about. So I'm going to stop talking and welcome Asara Lovejoy.
Well, hi, Kathryn. It's just so wonderful to be playing with you and interacting with you and having a conversation with you. We worked together for so many years, bringing the one command out into the world, bringing out the idea of change, of what it's like to be able to make change in your life easily and quickly. And I think that right now is a time when years ago, the people in the consciousness movement used to say, prepare for the times that come, because you're going to be needed. You're going to be needed to make a difference in the planet. And who knew that it was going to be now, in our time, right now, that this is the time that we're needed. And the one command process and the one command technique is a way to clear the field of what we imagine opposes us. And the highest consciousness teaching, the ability to know that you are the originator of your life, that in your own life, you have the ability to change a thought, change a program, clear the field of whatever it was or is that you say, you imagine is opposing you in your good, that there is all this wonderful good waiting for you. And we're in a situation like not knowing that good that is there for us. So we keep focusing on our problems rather than on what our possibilities are. I just was noticing Joe Dispenza set out a little newsletter, and I haven't had a chance to look at it, but it said from probability to possibility. Well, when we're talking about the one command, we always talk about going into the theta brainwave, making the commands, and in the expand state. After you make a command, you go into the expand state. And the expand state is really saying, I am now open to that greater idea for what I have commanded to arrive in my life. And I cannot know it through my five senses, and I cannot know it through my intellectual, beta, logical thinking mind. I cannot describe it, and I cannot know it in its aspect of how it's going to be expressed in the world. Because you're tapping into the field the quantum field of all possibilities, all probabilities. And you, as the author of your own destiny and the writer of your own script and the visionary for your own life, you are in charge of saying your command, this is the focus I want. I don't know how I focus on love in myself for others, peace in myself for others, more prosperity in myself for myself and others. That anytime you're making the command, I know I always get on a roll, but
You
I'll
go
pause
for
here.
it. That's why we're here. We're here to
I'll
hear
pause in just
Asara
a
go on
minute.
a
Yeah.
roll.
But when you're making the command, you're changing your biology, your neurology, the cells of your body. You're evolving yourself in a quick, lightning fast moment. And in that moment, you shift the entire world, the entire universe. And there is no, there, you know, in quantum physics, there is, and in computer languaging, you're either on or you're off. You're either 0 or 1. You're either in a thought that is replaying itself in your atmosphere that's creating a low resonance, or you release that thought and you are commanding that a new aspect of yourself be generated biologically in your brain and your DNA. And so that becomes the new program. So the one program turns off and the new program turns on. And you're in charge of that switch. All right, Kathryn, over to you.
Okay, great. Well, I think when people hear that, I think they go, okay, I get that kind of at a high level. The one thing that I know that you have a superpower in, and I've actually kind of marveled at this because I had a high tolerance for bullshit in my life. I had a high tolerance for pain, a high tolerance for not what I want. You have a superpower, and once you've commanded and you made that decision, you act as if, and you keep moving forward no matter what the evidence is, right? No matter what you're being told. And I'm wondering, how can people really come to not only like, here's that one command, how can they come to that decision point that, yeah, I've commanded it, it's going to be? How do you explain that to people on, you've
So
made the
I,
decision, just do it?
so the thing that we have said, Kathryn, for years is that the one command and shifting a thought and creating a new idea of what is right, what you want to know, that's already there for you. You don't have to create peace. You don't have to create prosperity. You don't have to create income increase. You don't have to create brilliant ideas for your business. That is already existing. All of those exist. What you're doing is you're removing the filter of the older programs, and you're just like letting that dissolve, so then what is there for you is coming through. So your job is simply to clear and to let that, it's very much, very much like in Ho'oponopono, they talk about clearing and going to zero. Well, that's because the higher frequency thought vibration, the potential realized by your command, has a life, and your job is simply to allow it to appear. Now, we talk about the physical body and the body-mind connection. I want everybody to know that this is a biological event. So there is a biological process of what your body goes through to shift from the old idea, kind of tapping into the Joe Dispenza work about how the, biology of your brain is running your body for an addiction of a thought. Well, you're shifting your thought, that thought that was an older, I can't do it, I'm not worthy, I don't have enough self-esteem, why would I get what I want, I don't deserve it, how can I put myself first? When you're making that shift, the body goes, this is completely new. I don't know this. I don't know the chemicals of what it is that we're speaking about now. I don't know the happiness. I don't know how to be happier and happier. I don't know how to think about having a better life and a better life and a better life. I don't know what it's like to see myself as getting what I want, getting what I want, getting what I want. How do I and physically adjust to that. And I mean, I have clients that I coach all the way around the world. And one of my clients, we just went through this process of shifting some really old damaging ideas, thoughts, and programs. And his back went out. And his back went out. And I said, oh, well, now that's right on track. Now you got physical evidence of the resistance that you have in your DNA and the body, the cells of your body that know and are addicted and are familiar with the limiting thoughts and feelings. I said, so let's clear that. When the symptom comes up of pain and resistance, let's clear that. I don't know how I apologize to the parts of my body that I've kept frozen in this old idea. I release my body now to express itself in a more positive way in alignment with my new ideas. And you notice the symptoms of change, and you also notice the symptoms of change when things start working for you. So
Mhm.
you get a result. And I love to tell the stories of the times that we've done the inner child process or the inner connection process, where we shift the older childhood experience of being recognized, for example. And people would say all around the world, this is common from Japan to Europe to United States to Canada to Mexico. This is common, that I don't get recognized for who I am in my work. I don't get recognized by my family. I don't get recognized or loved by my partner, my husband, my wife, my spouse. I don't get recognized for the work that I do. And so I say, well, what in you is not willing to be recognized? You know, what in you is not willing to have recognition be part of your DNA and the cells of your body and your brain and your emotions, that I am recognized and I accept recognition and I accept the good value that I have contributed in my atmosphere, whatever you're doing with your family and your work, with your children, with the community, however you're expressing yourself in the world. You have to shift into letting go of what you can't have, what you haven't had, and focus on what would it feel like to be recognized. I don't know how. In me, I am recognized. I don't know how I recognize the good in me. I don't know how I recognize the health in me. I don't know how I recognize the wealth and prosperity in me. I only know I do so now and I'm fulfilled. So when you're shifting it in yourself, they walk into the office the next day and the boss says, you know, Kathryn, I've been thinking about you. And I just wanted to tell you, I really, really appreciate your work. You know, I don't think I've said anything to you, but I don't know, just came into my mind that I wanted to acknowledge you.
Yeah.
And that's how you know you're making change, when you see the results in small ways as well as big ways.
Yeah, we had a lady early on, and we've had many stories like this since, that one woman was not feeling appreciated at work. Nobody was noticing. She was with all these high powered people who were making all this money, and she just was not feeling like anyone saw her, but she was part of the team. And after working with you, I think once, she got something like a $10,000 bonus. Like the next time she came to the office, they had a nice envelope for her. It's like, we just want to let you know we appreciate you.
It's
I
true.
saw,
Yeah.
yeah, I got to tell a personal story if it's all right, real quick, because it's when I was first learning the one command, and I think this will relate to a lot of people. I mean, I had already experienced the one command in that commanding wealth workshop. I had a huge manifestation because I had one idea. Everybody tries to think of all the stuff I shared today in the daily commands, that very often when we're thinking about changing our life, they try to make, the suggestion is imagine that one perfect day, right? But I had a singular moment, and I knew that everything that would have to happen, but I just held the vision for that. And it was, I want to share my gift I'm going to be in my own house, teaching classes, sharing my gift with people, right? I could just see this circle. I saw the tree in the backyard. It was just this moment. And when I was commanding for it, first it was like, well, Kathryn, that's too small. And it's like, no, there's actually a lot of hoops I have to go through. Well, fast forward about 6 months later, I'm living in that house. I'm hosting groups and I'm seeing clients. I'm having teaching classes and I'm going, yeah, this is good. And you came to visit me and you're going, Kathryn, this is literally what you commanded for. And sometimes we forget, right? Because you
Right.
got to have that reflection. And I go, yeah, but I don't think I'm doing as good as I should. And she's like, what are you talking about? Every person I met, everywhere you've taken me, it's been a success. The meetings are full everywhere we go. Look at your beautiful home. And I'm going, yeah, but it seems like there should be more, right? And it was just this vague thing. And we had a breakfast and you just kept asking me questions. And just in asking the questions, I didn't realize I had some unresolved fears and beliefs about myself. And then we just did one simple command at breakfast at IHOP, guys. Okay. It was like, and in the car going from IHOP to another meeting, I got 3 phone calls. And the 3 phone calls were what Asara had asked me and said, how would you know if you were a success? I said, well, one, existing clients would be calling me back. She said, well, are you calling and following up on people? No, because secretly I think they won't, they won't be happy with me. Or, well, what about asking for referrals? Just like, well, I don't know. I'm kind of their side chick, aren't I? They may not want to let people know that they're working with a psychic. And then 3, what about brand new people? I said, I'm doing all this marketing and how many new people would you like? I said about 3. I got 3 phone calls. One was a referral, one was an existing client, and then one was a brand new person. And then that week, I did have 3 of each of those. And I didn't know that I had that hidden resistance. I'm getting the results, but I had that kind of hidden, like, it's not quite right. And a lot of people will try to push through. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
And
that's exactly what I was speaking about, that it takes the body a while to catch up with the shift in the brain.
yeah.
Yeah. And so the yeah, so maybe people have questions and we can tune in on the
Yeah.
questions and even do a little processing or a little
Yeah.
commanding.
So yeah, sometimes we like to ask, if you've been using the technique, what is your question about the technique? If you wanted to know more about this one command, it's an open forum right now, and then we're going to keep teaching and talking. So go ahead and put it into the chat bar, and I will keep an eye on that. So while we're throwing it open to questions right now. Asara, you do work with so many people everywhere, and a lot of the stories. Oh, someone's asking about if you have recordings of the one command process. If they go to asara@asara.com, right? And
Oh no, that's my email. Oh, they can
no.
email
Oh, if
me.
you go to asara.com, right?
Right. Yes, there's access to training, to some free training that is we always recommend it and we send it to you if you invest in the right now we designed a new program called the One Command Training, the One Command Technique Training.
Mm-hmm.
So that people can learn in depth how to use the one command for themselves in their business, or if they're a coach or they have clients, that it's a wonderful way to reset. So at asara.com, you can get like I think it's 4 videos that you get.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's okay. And
yeah, someone said they'd love to tap into the power of the new year. Oh, thank you, Ashok. Ashok said, I worked with Asara and I have been very happy now working with many mega millionaires. Yeah, he is. Ashok's got it going on. Asara, so we have this, this idea about here's this statement, and I have a slide where I show what the statement is. But what is like if someone says, okay, I want to make a command, what would be the first step? Like a lot of times we know we're unhappy and we know we don't want anymore. How, and the biggest question I get from people is like, well, what if you don't know what you want?
Well, that's perfect. I
Yeah.
mean, what I say is all you have to do is give up everything you think you know to have everything you want.
Yeah.
Because again, I want to make this clear over and over and over again, because the brain does not get this. You're basically inhibited by what your filter is in front of you, that is your projections currently of your feelings and emotions out into the world. Everything you're experiencing in the world is you. If somebody is unhappy with you, that's you creating somebody unhappy with you. If somebody is happy with you, that's you creating somebody happy with you. If you are angry at a family member, that's you in you creating anger and creating anger in a family member. There's nobody but you out there. On the other side of this filter is sunshine, just wanting to shine through. The sunshine has happiness, joy, prosperity, courage, wisdom, inventions, satisfaction with your family, satisfaction with your children, satisfaction in your job and your business. How about the world politics? How about all of the polarity people say? There's no polarity except the polarity in you, the polarity in me. I'm so sorry. You know, I command, I don't know how I let go of the polarity in me so that politics are cooperative. I only know that politics and me are cooperative politics. So that's a big issue. So you can say, well, Asara, that's impossible. But that's how it changes, is it changes in you first. You are the master being walking on this earth, being challenged to bring forth the best of what is possible for you. And when you change yourself, you change the world. So people that want to be world changers, change what is your belief about opposition, about being disempowered, about all of that is happening inside of you. And so what your fear is, or your lack of appreciation of the sun shining through with the blessings that are there that want to come through, is getting yourself lighter and lighter and lighter in these frequencies that are here on the planet now. It's like letting go of the filter. You're clearing this filter so that the light comes through with how prosperity works in you, how cooperation with other people works within you, how loving every person that you don't like happens in you. And that's all there is you. There's nobody else to blame. There's nobody else that's causing it. Everybody that shows up, I was reviewing some of Ho'oponopono, Dr. Hugh Lin's processes. And I said, you know, he really is talking about the process of the one command. And he says, if somebody comes to you as a counselor, as a coach, and they have a problem, that's your problem.
Yeah.
So you solve that problem in you. And he says, and then they pay you for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want you to take it to the extreme level and not stay in the I can't do it, it's not possible. This is so simple that your brain does not understand that you're doing it. You know, we say the one command cannot be known with your five senses or your logic. You do the work, you go up into the, you ground, align, roll your eyes up, go into theta, shift your brain into theta, make the command. It's done. It's done right now. It's done. That change is done in you. It's changed in you. And it will manifest in the physical world either really quickly or over a period of time. In quantum physics, you cannot know location and timing. You cannot know the time of an event you can, if you know the time of an event, you cannot know the location of the event inside of you. So timing has nothing to do with it. Outside world timing has nothing to do with the change you're making. You're making the change instantaneously within yourself. And as you're making that change instantaneously through yourself, biologically, neurologically, there is a process of clearing, as we talked about at the very beginning, where your body is going to shift into a new positioning. How much better can I be today? How much more can I like my life today? How much more can I celebrate the capacity and the gifts I have to make change? You don't need to even know the content of what you're changing. You can't know the content of what you're changing because our conscious brain can think of 7 to 14 items consciously. I'm sitting here on this Zoom screen, people are watching, the room temperature. Those are conscious thoughts. We have billions of thoughts that are processing beyond that. That's what we're changing. And we're commanding that those billions of thoughts reorganize themselves into a new direction that we are commanding. Now, how do you know what to command? Command what's in front of you right now that you're resisting. Command what you're afraid of right now. What do you want instead? It's so simple. We say, what do you want instead? What do you, so, some of you give me some ideas of things you're resisting and we'll talk, and we'll go ahead and make a few commands.
I'll tell you one that's up for a lot of people is that, and you touched on this a little bit, is that idea of powerlessness. And I believe people have an idea about somehow that they're powerless or ineffective or that their voice doesn't matter. So what if they commanded for, I don't know how I reclaim my power, and I don't know how I'm operating in the fullness of my power? Is that too big an idea?
I don't know how, so how you make a change is from the emotion of what it is that you see inhibiting you. So you're really changing the emotion because you're making the command to change the event internally that's created the emotion. So the emotion of powerlessness we could identify with childhood programming. And I wrote about that in the book, that every person, every individual, there's every 1,000%, except maybe the Dalai Lama and enlightened masters that come to the planet, every individual goes through being small, defenseless, and powerless as a child and at the effect of their environment of who is raising them. So everyone has to listen to the authority, mom and dad, or mom and mom, or dad and dad, or the orphanage, or the social services that are taking care of them. So every individual is powerless to do anything other than listen and obey the environment in which they're raised, the rules in which they're raised. And every country has different rules in which they're raised. They have different philosophies of what's the appropriate way to behave as a man, as a woman, as a child. So what we want to do is say, there's a greater light than that experience of my childhood. That greater light is the clarity of empowerment. Empowerment means a centered coherence in yourself. Empowerment means your brain, your body, your emotions, your spirit, your mind. You can go into your soul if you want to. All of that is coherently agreeing to act in integrity with what you desire to choose to do. So the emotion of the body, for example, I worked with some executives, and when one of the themes for women executives is that men are getting paid a greater salary than they are. And that's valid. It's really true. It's out there. And I say, so what in you is unwilling to be empowered to get paid equally? Well, then there's programs, okay, of childhood submission where you had to take the back seat or you were the second child. But all of that is immaterial. We don't have to know the story. What we want to go for is, what is that like in me to be empowered, to be in first positioning, to get paid as much or more
Right.
than other employees? What in you has to shift to know that new experience in yourself before you have that experience? Because you're only experiencing what your filters are right now. So what we're saying is, we're dissolving the old filters and we're creating new, sunny, brilliant, more empowered filters
Yeah.
that will be now what you perceive in the world. You
Yeah.
will
And
now have those experiences, and it's 100,000% that you will have those new experiences when you make the biological, neurological change, when you dissolve the old filters, because you creating reality. So when you're making that change, you're creating a new reality for yourself to experience. And remember, you're not just doing it in you. Whenever you change, whenever you make a change towards empowerment, you're changing in every DNA frequency in the planet, in the universe, in our galaxy.
yeah.
It's either an on or it's off. You're either having an experience of limitation that's everywhere in the galaxy, or you're having an experience of empowerment that's everywhere in the galaxy. That's how you become the light that makes the change in the world.
Yeah. We've got some great questions. I'm gonna be asking you about brainwaves and consciousness, and I wanted to share a little aha I had about that in a minute. But we've got a few comments. Some folks are saying their resistance is they're experiencing procrastination and resisting losing weight. They're wanting to receive more love, honor, respect, and loyalty, and romantic love. And then someone else is asking, is it possible to get pain relief for someone you love through the one command? And absolutely. But at the same time, we can't judge their pain. That's the hardest thing, right? We don't know the purpose of the pain. What's your answer on that?
Let's just release even those thoughts, Kathryn. We
Yeah.
don't even need to go there anymore, because you just release the pain in you.
Okay.
You are creating your life. If somebody's in front of you with pain, there's pain in you. I don't know how I release the pain in my body and my thigh and my hip and my toe. I don't know how I release the cancer that's in me. I don't know how I release I only know I do so now, and I replace it with love, and I replace it with light. One of the things that I do quite frequently now, which was not in the original book, but I have, you imagine that you're letting yourself drain out of the bottom of your feet all of the toxic feelings, all of the illnesses. Just let them drain down into the earth and just let them go. So you're letting them go. And as you're letting them drain out, you're bringing love, you're bringing light in through the crown chakra, and you're just bringing that light in to fill up where the resistance was. It's a wonderful way to transform the body. And you're just seeing that light fill up every place in your body to shift it. So you're not able to know the cause of not losing weight. You're not able to know that. So but you have a filter here. You're not able to know the cause of a lack of loving relationship. There's some program in you that is resistant that's afraid of and resistant to loving another person, letting another person love you. It's mostly letting other people love us.
Right.
It's not, and so you're not seeing loving people in your life. I work with people that speak foreign languages and that were raised in, Morocco and Tangiers, and places where the lack of freedom is so much starker than it is in our country, in the United States. I mean, that's one of the blessings of being in a free country, is that you're free to explore your identity and who you are and where you want to live and how you want to live. And so when they make those shifts, the resistance to that shift into others are dominating me, they're controlling me, they're telling me how I have to live. I feel guilty. I'm living outside of the religion I'm supposed to live outside of. I'm doing all of these things. How do I cope with it? I said, just clear, just become clear that you yourself are love. You yourself are empowered. You yourself are prosperous and rich and enjoy money and create money and create your destiny for yourself.
Yeah.
Did that answer it? I kind of got off there on
Yeah,
a
we
little bit
do.
of
You
tangent.
know, what happens is people get distracted. They give a lot more power to the resistance, the fear, the limitation within them, rather than giving attention to the greatness and the power and their potential. A phrase that I've been working with that really helped me was, well, my awareness of my resistance isn't resistant. My awareness of struggling isn't struggling. So that throws me into my higher intelligence of being the observer. And I allow myself to be present to whatever that feeling is, and then let the answer come up. And then I do the command on it. Isn't that lovely? And my awareness of is not, my awareness of not being
Yes,
loved is not unloved. Right?
exactly. Wonderful. That's exactly correct. That's it. Because we're becoming, when you do the process and you do it every day in every way for
Mhm.
everything, is
Right.
that you simply notice when you're noticing that you're talking to yourself in a way that's talking about your limitations. I love the Bob Newhart psychiatrist comedy routine where he tells his client, just stop it,
Yep.
just stop it, just stop it, just
Yeah.
stop it, so stop it.
Yeah.
Stop that dialogue, stop
Yeah.
listening to that voice. You have to choose another voice.
Yeah.
You have to create another voice. You get to create another voice.
Yeah.
And that voice is, you're wonderful. You can do this. You deserve love. See, deserving love means that you're trusting people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you trust people? You are everybody out there. You are not trusting yourself to make good decisions.
Yeah.
You're not trusting in you that you're connected to this divinity that's within you, this sun that's shining through, this light that you are. You're not trusting that. You're not
Right.
trusting it at all. You're disconnected from it. So you want to connect to that loving light in you that loves others. It's
Yeah.
not important whether others love you. It's important whether you are capable of loving others. I tell the story when I was in Japan. I used to tell the story that driving in the United States traffic in the freeways can be very upsetting for a lot of people. And they end up getting mad and angry and yelling and, being feisty. And I said, but I had this really amazing experience once where I was driving down the freeway and all of a sudden this love just poured in. It just poured in. Have you ever had that spontaneous love just arrive? You
Yeah.
looked at a baby or you saw a tree and a sunset and just spontaneous love just poured in. And I'm driving along and I'm going, I love you. I love you. I love you. And it's just
Yeah.
spontaneously there in that moment. Do we celebrate those moments? Those are fun moments.
Yeah, that's where we've got to put our attention to. I've got a family member that's going through a lot, and I noticed that my internal dialogue about her was initially there was this argument going on, and I kept noticing I'm having all these mental arguments, and I thought, there's no argument here. I'm going to love you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to accept you. If you want to have an argument with me, you are welcome to, because you're welcome in my life. I love you. And now she's called and asked me for help. I've never had an argument with her, but I just have to take control of that. It's like, what am I actually arguing with? What reality am I arguing with?
You're
And
arguing with yourself. Byron
that's it.
Katie says it's the war within us.
That's it.
It's the war within us. So
Yeah.
we're arguing. Yeah. I'm looking at the question here
We've
with,
got some good ones. There's kind of a two-part because Kathryn and then Kel kind of have a common thing. I want to read both of these.
well,
Um,
let me, can I talk to Kel? And to trusting myself to know what actions to take in my business, what's stopping from me. Let me have a conversation with him
That's
or
that's
her.
Kathryn, and then Kel is finding clients. So do you
Yeah,
want Kathryn or Kel? You're being
Kel.
drawn to Kel.
Yeah.
Okay, hey Kel, go ahead and unmute yourself if you can, and say hello. I'm looking for you. Hang on. Kel probably didn't know he was going to get talked to. Oh, there. Wait a minute. I just saw him. Hey, Kel, go ahead and unmute for a second. Hi, Kel. Are you there?
I am.
Go ahead,
Hi.
Asara.
Hi there.
So tell me a little bit about what's happening with your business.
Okay, so I left a full-time job at a pharmaceutical company. It just was no longer aligning with what I was doing, and I was working part-time as a coach. So I kind of got myself ready and got my website and everything done so that I could transition into full-time coaching. So that's where I'm at. And as far as the marketing and how to get myself out there with COVID and everything, I'm just kind of struggling. So I have all my clients right now are pretty much word of mouth, which is fine, but it's not replaced my income as of yet. So I'm struggling financially.
Okay, so all right, so tell me the story that you're saying COVID and not being able the COVID is keeping you from going out and meeting people and having them have more clients. Is that what you tell yourself?
Yes, and how to market, how to put myself out there via the computer and live stream.
So
that sort of thing. It's not true.
Okay, so marketing is something that you need to learn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a learnable skill. Marketing
Yes.
is a learnable skill. So are you learning it?
I I am in some ways, and in other ways I'm not. Like, I don't know if I need to hire somebody. I guess I think I need to do everything on my own. So
okay, so all right, so then I don't know how I receive the right help to promote myself in the world.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So the issue is accepting help. The issue is trusting yourself, to trust that you get the right people to support you in promoting yourself in the world.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
You're good.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So who else?
Yeah. Okay. And so Kathryn's saying about trusting herself to know what action to take. And one thing I want to say too, Sarah, like in Commanding Wealth in the One Command, we say your wealth is in your relationships. And that first relationship that you have to heal and have a great relationship with is yourself, right? And then creating that abundance, that trust, that love. And then you're able to be that for other people. So I'm going to invite Kathryn on and have Kathryn W. Unmute here. Let me see if we can get her.
Hi, Kathryn. Hi, Asara.
Hi, Kathryn. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Great. Good. So what is it that you're focusing on?
I don't trust myself. I've been in business a long time, and I don't trust, since I know I'm bringing in new information and I'm a channel and all of that. It's like I need to be recognized by other people to see the wisdom. So it's harder to put myself out there. I'm following my projector piece from Human Design. And so I need to be recognized for who I am. So I have to show up just as me. So that's, it's tricky to be successful.
Okay, so who tricked you when you were young and a child? Who started tricking you early on in your life?
Oh, I would say my mother.
Okay, so what would it be like to have, what's the opposite of, what's non-trickery? What does non-trickery look like? Where people say what they mean and you can trust the outcome.
It's what I do for other people, which is be their cheerleader, to be supporting them, believing in them, having the confidence in them.
Okay, so I don't know how I am my own cheerleader and I believe in myself and I have confidence in myself. I only know I do so now and I'm fulfilled. So energetically, can you feel the feeling of I am my own cheerleader and I trust myself and confidence in myself? There's no mother now outside of you. There's no person outside of you that doesn't recognize you. You're not recognizing yourself.
Right.
So just close your eyes for a minute. Okay, just ground a line. Let your eyes look up underneath your eyelids. I don't know how I recognize myself as a clear channel. I only know I do so now and I am fulfilled. I don't know how I trust myself to make good choices with the right people. I only know I do so now and I'm fulfilled. And expand, receive. Okay. What did you notice? I know you're still processing it. Just keep processing it.
You know, Asara, I commanded for measurable results, and people with machines started showing up, and they were able to track the brain waves of people I was working with. People started writing testimonials, and if she's someone who follows signs, then she could command for signs and, confirmations and signs and wonders to follow her. And that could be the other thing, because she's looking for a sign, like, please choose me, look at me. But she can command that to be the result of her work.
Right? So how are you doing now, Christine?
Kathryn.
Kathryn.
I sense that it's expanding out. I feel like I'm opening and allowing the commands to reverberate out of me.
Great, good. All right, so keep following that energy stream. You shift it in yourself. There's no one but you that's holding you as limited and unrecognizable. You're the only person doing that. So I don't know how I am unlimited and recognizable in myself now. I only know I am authority. I am authentic. My words have value and meaning as I speak them out in the world. I only know it's so now and I'm fulfilled. I don't know how I'm safe, physically safe, emotionally safe, spiritually safe, as I speak my words out in the world and am recognized. I don't know how I receive recognition. Feel the energy of a person looking at you and saying, Kathryn, look at you. Oh my gosh, you're so great. You just did that for me. Thank you. And you receive it. Yeah. Think of someone, if you're, listening, for you that are listening, just think of being recognized in whatever area you live, in your family, in your work, in your career, in your spirituality. It's shifting into a new frequency and vibration of safety as you're being recognized. Being recognized is one of the scariest things in the world. People ask for it, and they get it, and they're terrified.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean it. I really didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's a responsibility and it comes back once again to being worthy of it, deserving of it.
Yeah. So okay, close your eyes, because everybody can do
Everybody's dealing with this, right?
All right, everybody can deal this. So go ahead, close your eyes. Again, ground, align, look up, go to theta. I don't know how I release unworthiness from my DNA. I release proving myself and pleasing others. I don't know how I release proving myself and pleasing others as a strategy. I release it. And I replace it with loving myself and loving others. I only know it's so now and I'm fulfilled. And then we're just going to add a little of, I love you. Thank you. 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 What in me needs to shift into worthiness in me? Woo. Okay.
And yeah, she's drawing to her who's worthy of the work, who's worthy to be your client, right? It's like that goes both ways, but
It's even simpler than that,
yeah.
Kathryn. There's
See,
just,
but I thank you.
it's just simply that when you're worthy, you are being worthy in with yourself, with everyone. That's it.
Yeah.
And there's no judgment about whether
Yeah,
you're
and
worthy
y'all
or
meet.
not worthy.
Worthiness meets worthiness, right?
Yeah,
You just are that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what other people are.
No, it
It
doesn't.
only matters what you are. And
Mhm.
your perception of other people is telling you whether you are or have made a change or not. If you're still seeing anybody as unworthy, then you have not made a change of worthiness in
Yeah,
yourself.
because you're in judgment in those levels of consciousness. Absolutely.
Right.
But that's taking it out. It's like I'm kind of speaking to also as in your business, because she's like waiting to be chosen. She is chosen. The gift is flowing through her and she chose to say yes to it, right? And the right people will choose to work with her already.
Again, you're trying to do a cause and effect. There's no cause and effect.
Okay. All
There's
right.
no cause and effects.
See why we need more teaching, guys. I've worked with this. I've worked with Asara. I've helped people all over the world. And damn, if Asara isn't raising my consciousness right now, guys. So thank you. Hey, so Asara, we've just got a few more minutes.
Okay, I just
What do
want
you
to
wanna
check
do?
in. Let me just check in with Kathryn for just
Okay.
see what you're experiencing now.
It's one of the things that I've struggled with is being grounded in my body, because I don't want to be here. I haven't wanted to be here on this earth. And I think that
Okay, stop it. I don't want the story.
Okay.
The story is immaterial. That's so old.
Okay.
That story is so old.
No, I know, I understand that, but
okay, so what are you experiencing?
Help
Tell me in your body. Tell me in your body.
One command is help me be more in my body.
Tell me what you're experiencing in your body.
Being more in my body.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you,
Okay,
Kathryn.
you're welcome.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Anyone else right quick? It looks like we've kind of gotten through that. Has this been helpful, guys? Have you gotten benefit out of this time with Asara? Let us know what you've taken, what your takeaway is so far. And then Asara, what do you want to, after people share that, what do you want to do next? How do we want to take them out?
Well, Kathryn, thank you so much for being a one command light in the world. I just can't tell you, how grateful I am that that you carrying the torch forward and out in the world to help people make a change in themselves. The whole, message of the one command is empowering your life, loving your life, expanding into any possibility that you create, that you want to create for yourself. And you have been holding that candle, holding that torch, holding that light for almost 20 years in terms of the one command out in the world. So thank you for that. And I know that, I've shared with you that we've developed, rather than teaching people how to be one command coaches, I consolidated the practice of the one command and called the one command technique training. And so if you are interested in that, I know you have some information you'll send out to people.
Yep.
And basically, when you focus on and dive into the deeper teaching of the training, of course, you get much more results in your life.
Right.
And so that's the benefit of being able to provide it out in the world. And of course, everybody on the call, thank you for transforming my life and Kathryn's life by being present with us. We thank you for that so much. I thank you for that so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to share with you your address right quick. Hang on, so they can contact you. Oh my goodness, I thought I had this so smooth, guys. You know how that goes. It's like so smooth. But let me share the screen right quick. And just remind you that you can
Robin raised her hand. So what is Robin?
Oh, I'll let you read that. And I'm just pulling up the slide. Go ahead, Asara. Let's see. I don't see that one. What are you seeing on your side?
Oh, here's Robin. She raised her hand. Asked to unmute. Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Robin.
Can you hear me, Asara?
I can. Yes. Hi.
Hi, I'm Robin Mason. Remember me from Las Vegas?
Yes. How are you?
Oh, good, good. I just popped on here. I wanted to see you. Just want to let you know you are so beautiful. You are not aging at all.
I'm 80. I'm almost 80, girl.
You don't look it. You look gorgeous.
I don't know how that happened.
Just want to say how much you've helped me, and I did buy the program. I haven't been as faithful to it as I need to be because I've been so busy, but I guess I can command and affirm that as well.
Yes,
that
you
I will
can.
have time to do it. But I used to go on walks every day, and I'm listening to you guys on my walks. And so I'm going to pick it back up. I just got back from Dubai, 17 days. It was
Fabulous.
amazing.
Wow.
And everything I experienced was first class. And I didn't even try to be in first class. My flight was first class. I was in 6-star hotels. And it's all because I'm changing the concept of myself and what I deserve. So everything is you pushed out. I'm really trying not to look at people anymore. I always look at myself. But I was the one that brought up about relationships. I still feel like I'm stuck with the relationship part, romantic relationships.
That is, again, fear of receiving love.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so clear the fear of receiving love. I don't know how I clear the fear of receiving good, healthy love. I only know I receive good, healthy love, and I am fulfilled. And stick with the emotions of that fear. And if you identify it with a particular thought or feeling, shift it to what you want instead.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the letting your body become familiar with good quality, healthy love. When we have a fear of love, that means that we were mistreated with love in a childhood. So we're shifting that, but we don't have to know the story. You don't ever need to know the story. You only need to know the energy you're holding now.
Okay. I got it. I just want to let everybody know
you'll get it.
I tried to pass one of my tests to be fully licensed for 5 years. I failed it probably 5 times. I had one session with Asara and I passed it. So she's
so deserving and so ready.
Thank you guys.
Well, thank you,
Kathryn. Thank you too, Kathryn.
Thank you,
Robin.
Oh my goodness. I appreciate everybody who took time out of their day to join us. And Asara, thank you for taking time. And we are going to go ahead and let everybody go, but I just want to let you know that we see you, we love you, and we appreciate you so much. And witness your mastery. Give more attention to that greatness in you, and you will be unstoppable. So, Asara, we love you. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye, Kathryn. Bye, everyone.
Bye. We're trying to get out of here. There we go. And I apologize, it's not letting me end it, Asara. So let's see if it'll end on your side.